Really? 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 My baby girl's in heat. So, she might end up being like the background music for our video. Yes, we are planning to get her fixed before anyone asks. Really? I think so. So hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is an Expanse coffee mug. It has all the characters. Well, I guess I can't say all the characters. Holden is on here quite predominantly, but you can also see some of the other characters on the back. There's actually Avrasala, probably butchering that pronunciation, but there she is. And there's more Holden. And then, of course, on this corner, there is Amos, who's is one of my favorites. And here we've got the entire cast, at least the main cast from the Rossi in here. At any rate, this was a gift from my daughter. She did some searching for Expanse coffee mugs, and she found this one. I wanted an Avasala one, but the only one that I've ever been able to find was like from when the Expanse first came out, and it has since been discontinued, which upsets me greatly. But this is a beautiful mug, and now all I need, because I've got another one, so now all I need is one for Amos by himself, one for Naomi and Avasala. But we'll see if we'll ever find those. Probably not. In our brand new Expanse coffee mug is another tea from our January Sips Buy. It's the Miracle Tree Moringa Organic Superfood Mint. I did end up putting 2 tea bags in here. That being said, as you know, we're doing Bright Ladies today. As you know, with the Bright Ladies videos, the tea hasn't steeped that long. So we do the look first, we get the tea together, and then we do all the other stuff after we get the look first filmed. So it doesn't get the same amount of time as it would on a regular video. At any rate, I did double bag it because, as I recall, this is a slightly larger mug, and while the Miracle Trees are pretty good in terms of their flavor and strength, a big mug like this I thought might need 2. So we're going to go ahead and give it a sip, and then we will get started. You can smell the mint. That's beautiful. So the mint is not very strong yet. The tea in general is not very strong yet, but I'm getting the Moringa, and that's very, very nice. Again, it's not going to have the same kind of time to steep as in a regular video. However, we'll let it sit there for a few, and we'll talk about what we're doing today. So, like I said, we're doing a Bright Ladies. We are using a brand new set that I'm not going to show you yet, because I unbox it when I do the actual look. So it's already been unboxed. However, it's also been dug into a bit. So, and that is the new Melt Blueprint set. That includes a eyeshadow palette and 2 gel liners. And they have it on sale on the site right now. You can get the trio for $75, $85, something like that. 85 might be the full price for all 3 together. So it might be 75. I was not actually going to pick these up as soon as I did, but they accept Afterpay. Afterpay is dangerous. And I just had the number of open orders that I'm allowed to have on Afterpay increased, so it's even more dangerous. But since it was on Afterpay, I went ahead and picked it up, and I'm doing Afterpay payments on it. So if you're on Afterpay and you're interested in this, Melt takes Afterpay. Anyway, so this is the look we came up with today. I am having some issues on my inner corners that I will discuss later, but this is the look that I did today. I actually really like it, and if you like it too, just keep watching, and you can see how I put it together by watching right now. So as I mentioned, we are going to be opening our melt box. This is it right here. I really like their boxes, are really nice and sturdy. As usual, we have the lips on the inside that says thank you, we love you, Melt Cosmetics. We have our black paper. This is pretty standard for them. I love how they package things. We've got a receipt and return thing, I think. No, just basically a receipt. Just basically a receipt. And we've got the stickers I usually send. I actually have a place I can use these now. And it looks like they sent something extra. So let's take a look at the extra item first. What are you? And why are you on a... What is this? What is this? This is Melt Care's hand sanitizer. Kills germs without water. And it has this thing for you to hold it in. So they sent along a hand sanitizer. That's pretty neat. Can't have too much of that nowadays. All right, so as usual, the palette is in bubble wrap. And then we've got our 2 boxes on the inside of that. So I'm going to open up the 2... these are the 2 boxes for the eyeliners. I've been wanting to try their eyeliners, and I figured this was a good way to do it. We have an ultra matte gel liner and a reflect gel liner. So we'll open the ultra matte first. My biggest problem with most of the gel liners that I've tried is that they're too dry. Makes them hard to pick up on the kinds of brushes that I use. There we go. So there's the packaging like that. And we'll open that up. There's that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's going to be nice to work with. That was really easy to get up on my finger. So that is going to be neat. I've got a lot of new stuff I'm using today. So there's the gel liner, not using a thing. That's pretty. All right, and then we have the reflect. That is neat. That is a lot of product too. One thing about the places that are charging a bit more, for the most part, they also include quite a bit of product. Okay, so similar packaging. So I'm going to have to look at the bottom to know which one I'm getting, or just open it. And there's, oh gosh, that's pretty. Oh, that is pretty. Again, it's very soft and easy to pick up on the finger. That is gorgeous. Not as pigmented as the dark one, it would seem, but we will see if we can work with that. I'm happy with that right now. Clean off the fingers. I am not, oh man. Okay, maybe not clean off the fingers. That matte one doesn't want to come off all the way. I'm having to fight it. All right. I'm not going to swatch this. I'm sure you're going to see plenty of swatches from other people who are getting it. This is the blueprint box. I'm not sure how I feel about white. But the box itself is the actual thing is not white, so that's good. It is the same design, just reversed. So there's the blueprint actual palette. She is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the one color that I thought was a red is not a red. This looks very red on my computer, and instead it's more of a brown. But look at those colors. I'm excited to play with this. I'm excited to play with this, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to play with our blueprint palette. So since this shade is more of a brown than a red, which is what I was hoping it would be from the pictures, I thought the red was going to be a very pretty color. I'm going to use the Melt Muerte palette to make in the red for the look that I'm thinking about, and because they have these 3 reds right here. So I'll be using those to make up for not having the red. We are going to go ahead and get started with this. I'm going to start with beaming. I'm going to put that under my brow, doing my usual top down, lighter to darker thing that I do. I'm just batting that in there. And we're starting up here. As is true with a lot of their shadows, I'm starting to already see a little bit of, not necessarily fallout yet, but kick back in the pan just a little bit. It's not a lot at this point. I am just tapping into the pan. That is very, very light and very close to what my skin tone is, I guess, a little bit. You would think it would not be, but might also be the brush I'm using. Next color I'm going to use is this Skylight. A lot of these colors would probably do better on a wet brush or by using a finger. I don't like using my finger, as you both. There's all two of you out there, as you all know. So I'm going to use these sponge tip applicators that I picked up from Amazon. God knows, I've been repurchasing them, and I'm going to try it first without any color or any setting spray. Wow, that is soft. That came up on that brush just like nothing else. And we're going to put that on the inner corner like that. And baby, you are going to need setting spray. So we're going to go ahead and do setting spray. And we will try this again. Again, it is a lighter color, but that is fine by me. She is very soft. I'm tapping this in here, and it's kicking up stuff. So now let's try that. There we go. So you're definitely going to want to use a finger or a sponge tip with this one, and a bit of setting spray. I want to go, okay, be very careful though, because that is a very, very, very soft shadow. That needs a little bit more. There we go. That is a pretty, pretty color. I think this is a color that is fairly unique to my collection, honestly. I think the closest I have is possibly in a ColourPop palette. Possibly. And I honestly wouldn't hold my breath on it being this particular color. That is pretty. I love that color. I'm going about 2/3 way across my lid. With this, we aren't going to do a tritone today, at least not on the lid. Get past that arch in my eyeball. I will say it's probably a skin tone thing. Does look like she is just kind of, my skin is kind of peeking through a little bit. But again, it may also be just this color versus my skin tone. It may just have some sort of other, almost a duochrome type thing going on. Light on my skin, but that's no surprise. All right, so now, find a brush. I'm going to take this color, Deadbolt, finish the rest of my lid with it. That is also a pretty low. I am using a very firm packing brush. And I'm going to do that along the outside. And we're going to need to spray our brush. It's okay. A lot of these colors do better with spray, especially the shimmers. I do much prefer cosmetic eyeshadows that I don't have to do that with the shimmers, but at the same time, it is never that much of a surprise. I may have to rethink my idea for what I want to do with this, though. That red is going to come off really stark against these light colors. I'm just patting it in, filling out the outer lid. This color is coming up a lot lighter than I expected it to. So Okay, so what I'm going to try, I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the green. I'm going to go ahead and try using one of these. See if we can get a better color. Oh yeah, okay, so there we go. That's definitely doing better. There, hello, aren't you pretty? She's definitely much better that way. And I'm doing this kind of flick blending across the middle, so I don't have a firm line. For the rest of it, I'm sort of patting it in place. But in here, just look at what I'm doing here. Just like that. So it's less of a straight line there. You want it to look like they're kind of transitioning. And that gives me just a little bit of a transition. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my Muerte. And I'm going to use this color Sangre. And I'm going to use that in my crease and my point. So, just dabbing it in. I should say I'm just going to go like this first. I'm going to do the crease and the point with the Sangre, and then I'm going to go over the Sangre with the lighter red Corazon. But brushing that in, doing a lot of tapping. Okay. Just to get that shape and get that color on there. We're going to do another color over that in a minute. And now if you look, you can sort of see that other color there. It's interesting how colors change based on what they're next to. Like that. Okay. Sangre is being just a touch patchy, but that's okay. She's about to get a bit of a dose of this red. Wait a minute. Okay. I'm going to take another similar shaped brush, fluffy, and I'm going to take some of this Corazon and I'm going to take it over that point and also use it to blend this edge out a little bit. So we're picking up some of this Corazon on our brush and we're going to blend some of this out here, and then we're going to bring it up this way. And as you see, I'm sort of blending the whole thing out. Taking that darker color into the lighter red, going up higher on my brow the way I usually do. And made the whole outer corner just a little bit more red. Bringing it down a bit in front. I'm getting a lot of fallout now that I'm working on this on the green that I used. I'm going to be taking care of that in a minute too. I'm going to add a little bit more of that green in just a bit. Because as we're doing this, we're also starting to cover along the inside of that area. starting to cover up some of that green on the inner corner, so I'm going to need to redo just a little bit of it. And we will do that in a minute. And I'm trying to make sure that that red is above, a little bit above my, where my hood is, so you can actually see a little bit of it. Having a hooded eye, this is one of the ways that you make sure that some of that color gets seen, is you go above your hood. You make sure you're above that area, and it helps so that you can actually see the color. All right, so as you can see in both of these, I'm going to have to at least take care of that edge closer to the crease. But I think we're done using this one right now. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of this king stud, and I'm going to use one of my small rounds, and I'm going to put that right in the crease, because we really do want to celebrate the blues in this palette if we can. This is just to help deepen the crease a bit, give it a bit more definition, and it actually goes slightly above the crease. You know, you got those hooded eyes, right? And then we're going to come down and we're going to do that little tweak. Because we've got the red in there, it's not showing up nearly as well as it probably would. You know what? I think I'm going to grab some of this this dim out and go over it. Their mattes are usually pretty amazing. Hello. Yeah, that helped bring that in. And I'm probably going to go over that red again a little bit. The lighter red. But for now, there we are. We've done our little thing. Back that way. Again, going under. Not doing too far under. All right, so I'm going to grab some more of that Corazon, just a little bit, and put it above here to help blend that all out and into our red, so it's showing. And then I'm going to grab the green and fix the green. Take this thing again. And I'm mostly concerned about up in here. This is a very flaky green, I will tell you that. Let me get you wet again. All right. Come on now, behave. There we go. Thank you. Just want to get that up there. Now see, this green is blending in with those other colors much easier than those other colors blended in with each other. But that's okay. We still got that line up there. So I am going to get the rest of my face on. I mean, up to my eyeliner anyway. And then we will play with one of these eyeliners to finish up our look. What do you say? So I will be back. All right, before we get started on our lining, I'm going to take some more of this dim out with a shader brush. It's a little firmer though. It's not as fluffy as some of the other ones. And I'm going to put a bit more of that in my crease on both sides. Just want, there we go. Hello. want a little bit darker shading in here. There we go. That's what I want to see. Be careful if I don't want to cover up the green that I've repaired like 3 times already. That's nice. All right. There. That's nice. Okay. That just helped redeem this palette a little bit. I'm kind of on the fence about it. All right. So the eyeliners, one of the things that I just noticed is that the matte has a slightly darker lid than the reflect. We're going to use the reflect. And of course I have my standard brushes that I use. Both of these are from, well, I think this one's from e.l.f. and this one is from ColourPop. So I have found that I have to be careful with the ColourPop ones. I do have some of them that are just so thin that they barely pick up any color. And I have like different brushes for different colors, so it's a little easier like to keep my white separated and stuff like that. All right, so let's see if this brush was going to pick any of this. Oh, wow. Pick that right up. Pick that right up. All right. That was nice. Now let's see how she applies, huh? She looks like she's going to do beautifully. Hello. All right, so she is just a little bit lighter than I expected in terms of actual color, but she's going right on. And this is so nice and creamy, so I can dip right in and grab some more as I need it. I may have to use some of those browns underneath. I was going to go back to the blues, but I think if I use the blues... Oh, that's pretty. Okay, if this is the texture of all of their gel liners, I want more. I honestly can't afford more. They are not cheap. We have products for days, though. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to get my other side. Well, I'll try to finish up at least the lining on the one eye. And yes, I know I'm having to put this like right up against my face. I'm being very careful with my color application because when I have used the water activated ones, I've found if you go too heavy, they scatter everywhere, and I know a gel liner won't do that. That is gorgeous. I know gel liners don't bleed like that, but okay. All right, so I'm going to stop there. I think I'm going to try using the matte on this blue part here. I'm going to go ahead and get the other eye set up before we do the wing. I'm going to go ahead and try this matte on the outer corner. It looks like it's just quite a bit darker, so we'll use this. Oh, this texture is beautiful. That is nice. All right, so I'm going to go back over here. Yes. Oh, yes. Okay, it still fades in just a little bit. But I think you can kind of see it. And they are so creamy. They glide on so nice. I am finding it much easier to do the little line for the bat wing with my detail brush instead of my actual lining brush. The lining brushes are really great for the actual lining, but they're a little long for the little bat wings, so I've just got a little bit there. And we're going to go like that, and then we're going to go out. So she's a little hard to see against this blue. Hello, Yuriko. And then you take a bit from this outside and you connect your lines. Connect to your line. Come on, go connect to your line. Thinking I may have to go around the wing with the black, just to have it show up a little bit better. But once it's all colored in, that's easy to do. She's there. I see it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I see it. I am already impressed with these. They are beautiful. But I am going to take a this estate liner, and I'm going to sort of outline the wing a little bit so it's a little bit more visible. So we're going to follow our bottom line up to where my point is. Hello. And then follow along the top line. And it's just coming up slightly darker. It is not like this dramatic black line, which is nice. This is a very nice eyeliner, by the way. Anyway, so, and then I'm going to go along that. Yeah, like that. And make sure that point is showing. So, it's not a huge difference. Of course, I'm starting to water. It's not a huge difference, but it does help the lines show up a bit. There we go. That's it. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face, and I'll be back. Alrighty, so things that I did to finish up the look. I ended up using the color, what are you? Nailed on the inner corner underneath, and then I went to hot wire in the middle, and then I used the reddish brown that I thought was more red in the promos on the outer underneath the wing part. I used that there. And then I also took the color Kalaka and put it on my inner corner. You can't really see it, but that's fine. It's supposed to just be a bit of a brightness there. It's not necessarily supposed to pop like a actual highlighter because the green is really bright and shiny. My feelings on, well, let me get to let's get to the really positive thing that I can just say right out now. I'm interested in more of the melt gel liners. These are nice. They're soft, they're creamy, they go right on. I didn't have to fight them. You know, a lot of gel liners that I've gotten in the past, they're very, very stiff, and my brushes can't dip into them and get anything up or anything like that. These are absolutely beautiful. So I do want more of the melt eyeliners, the gel eyeliners. These are gorgeous. And if there's any problems with my eyeliner right now, I'm blaming my eyes because my eyes, you know, they get kind of weepy and things just sort of start disappearing. So, but these are gorgeous. I highly recommend them. They are a bit on the expensive side. I would have to look it up, but I will list it down below. I'll have all of this stuff listed down below. But yes, I love these. I love these. I want more colors. I don't know if I want them all yet, but I definitely want more colors. And that Afterpay is like going to have to resist because, yeah. Anyway, setting that down. The palette. I'm on the fence about the palette. I'm actually very disappointed in these two shades. Maybe this one was intended as a topper, but I've already had to reapply on my eyes and watch it fade at least 4 times. And usually melt lasts better than that, even on my inner corner. So maybe, and then on top of that, I would blame my eyes for that, but also on top of that, you notice I had a lot of trouble getting color when I first applied it. So that is not something that happens right away like that. Usually I get the color on there, and it takes a few minutes before that all just starts going poof. So maybe this was intended to be a topper. I don't know. I am intending to use this look for another video. I will more than likely grab a shade out of the ColourPop or an out to help take care of that inner corner for that particular video, just because this just keeps fading off. And I mean, it fades. When I actually show you the finished look again, we may see it, but it just fades off just terribly. And you can, it's like there is some of the green color there, but mostly there's just my skin. So editing Domi here, I did use the ColourPop Aura and Out to get that green. And as it turns out, this color, New Age, even though it looks darker in the pan, actually matches the color in the blueprint palette fairly well. So just wanted to let you know, if you were looking for ways to bump up the color in the blueprint palette, there is one in the Aura and Out that works just as well, and or actually probably a little better because it's not quite flaking and doing all the things that the one in the melt palette was doing. I don't know if it'll stay. Color pop can be iffy, but in case you're looking for that color green, you can find one in the Aura and Out. And this color ended up being a bit fussy too, and I'm really disappointed with that. That said, surprisingly, these 3 browns did beautifully under my eyes. You may not see them very well in this with the glasses and everything, but they showed up nicely. So these colors here, I can see myself using again in the future, because I'm not a big brown person, but they showed up beautifully, and with the sparkle and all that other stuff. These 2, this one is really nice. You have to use the right kind of brush on it. I'm not sure about this one. So it could have just been what was going on and how I was applying it, the brush I was applying it. I'm going to have to play a bit more with it. I'm going to say that my favorite palettes are still the Muerte, the Vida, and the their Neon palette, which name now escapes me, but might even be Neon. But those 3 palettes are still my top favorite palettes. The She's and Parties in this are probably somewhere around the same. She's and Parties might be a little lower because the She's and Parties actually gets kind of muddy over time. And this one, I think the color variation in the blues is enough that it's not going to be, you're not going to end up with a muddy look if you use nothing but the blues out of here. I'm just really disappointed that that green, which is one of the more interesting colors and one of the colors that I just literally cannot duplicate. It is lighter than the one that I'm going to be using in the Aura and Out. I have nothing else like this green, and I don't think I have anything else like this, the color of this blue, in my collection. So it's really disappointing that it did not work as well as I'd hoped it would. But that said, it is still a melt palette. I'm still keeping it. I'm going to play around with it, and hopefully I'll be able to get it to work better. Maybe just like I said, using the one as a topper would help. I'm not sure about the blue yet. We'll figure it out. Just could have been one of those days, you know, or I used the wrong brush or something. But you all know I don't like fussy stuff. I even tried to pat that green on with a finger. You know I hate that. And it still just would not come up on my eyes the way I thought it would, and from the way it looked in the pan. So more than likely it is a topper, so it'll go over the one that I'm going to put over it for the next video, probably fairly well, but by itself it's not. I'm really disappointed with it. But that said, like I said, it is a melt palette. The rest of it is beautiful, and you know, if you only have 2 problematic shades in a palette, that's fine by me. If you can figure out a way to work around them, great. If not, then just move on and find something else to use everything else that's working. And here is the final look. Let's just try to get close. And hopefully that stuff hasn't faded too far off my eyes for you to see it. But I'm sure it's going to be off a little bit because I can feel it kind of fading off. But there's the look. And if I look up, hopefully you can see the browns underneath. They all showed up beautifully on my eyes. Actually, it's looking really good right now. Of course, it would make a liar out of me. Let go of my hair. Of course, it would make a liar out of me, right? But that is our look for today, and that is our video for the day. And I hope you like what you've seen. And if you do like what you've seen, I hope you will subscribe. When you subscribe, please hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. I currently upload 2 days a week, Monday and Thursday, but we do have bonus videos. I do indie brand openings. We've had one of those recently, and my son has his box is supposedly on his way. Should be coming sometime soon. It should be shipping in the next week and a half, somewhere in there. So hopefully we'll see his new box very soon, and I know his fans have been missing him. And if you send anything, well, that also gets opened as a bonus video, unless you don't want me to. Just let me know, put a note inside your box, or you can join the Domi Tries This Facebook group, which is listed down below. I really can't talk. And you can let me know in there that you have sent me something and you would like to not have it opened on the channel, and I will not open it on the channel. At any rate, if you're interested in any of those, you do need to click that bell because they do not go up on regular upload days. If you are part of my notification squad, you probably want to check both your bell and your subscription to make sure they're both still active. And if you choose not to subscribe, well, I suppose I would understand. Today's video was a bit longer than usual, just because we had the box opening, and also I showed off the gel liner. I usually do my liner off camera, so we had a couple things that made it a little longer. I ramble a bit. I probably covered up my eyes a little bit more than usual, which I'm sorry. I'm still working on that. I'm still working on making sure you can see what I'm doing, and sometimes I forget, so hopefully that's not going to be too badly in here. But at any rate, even if you choose not to subscribe, you're always welcome back here again. And when you do come back again, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. Alrighty, so it has managed to, because of this closer, it has managed to steep for at least 10 minutes. So that means it should be at full, since I believe Miracle Tree is a 3 to 5. So let's give her another sip, and then we'll be on our way. Oh, I love the smell of it. If that scent was a little bit stronger, I could use that like in a candle throughout my room. That smells beautiful. So I'm going to say the tea is stronger. I am glad that I used 2 bags. The mint is kind of on the faint side. It's there. It's actually kind of nice when you think about it. Here. It's actually kind of nice. It's kind of on the fainter end. It's kind of like on the back end of the sip. But it's very nice. Although I think I would like it to be just a little bit stronger. All right, so that's it. Hope you have a good one. Bye.